sorry about that. Sorry about what I did. Sorry.
So what is immediately clear from all these films and all of these protagonists is that they all seem to assume that for them to experience connection, experience love, and really get what they want, the world requires some sort of adjustment from them internally. None of them think that they can be accepted just by existing, just by being themselves. And so we see all of these characters treat their identity, especially their public identity, the identity that they put forward in an attempt to reach connection, as a form of improv, a sort of performance of normalcy, a sort of their idea of what normal people should feel like and what normal people should be like.
But I'm going to check in.
Okie doke.
And you have my number at work, right?
This brings us to the next part of our exploration, the world and the people and the environment that these characters exist in, and specifically asking whether these environments contradict their existence or whether they support it. And how are they treated as themselves, whether they're expected to change or whether they're expected to be as they are. I mean, it's a good question. Who gets to accept your weirdness, right? Who determines how weird you can be in a society?
Oh, she's wonderful. Gus and I are both very lucky with women.
We'll start with Lars and the Real Girl because I think this is the most interesting example in all of these films, because the film is set in a small and rural town where you would expect people's viewpoints to be quite insular, but contrary to what you might believe, even though Lars's brother is a bit hesitant at the beginning, little by little, the town, his sister-in-law, and even his brother, given time, begin to accept Lars and his quote-unquote real girl as real people. Especially Bianca, a doll that he ordered over the internet, that he pretends to be his girlfriend, is accepted just as a normal part of the fabric of the society of the town. And Bianca's invited to parties, to events, to charities, even to a point where Lars begins to get angry that Bianca, a fake doll, is spending too much time with other people. And I think this is their attempt to try to not accept Bianca, of course, but accept Lars as who he is and try to connect him on his level. Of course, the doctor in Lars and the Real Girl plays a pivotal role in this acceptance. She is the first person to not only accept Bianca as a real person, but also tell others to do so as well. And because of this, we can slowly see a shift in Lars himself as he lets this acceptance wash over him and let go of Bianca little by little throughout the film.
Just sign this before we can proceed.
Is it really necessary?
Yes, of course.
Opposite to this, however, whether it's because Miranda has very different expectations of what a first meeting should be like, doesn't seem to accept Mr. Reed's quirkiness. She sets the tone and the rules quite clearly that it is in fact her house and that Mr. Reed will be acting the way that he's expected to be acting.
Wunderbar.
In Punch Drunk Love, interestingly, there's a sort of a dual relationship here. First of all, Barry's framed in this world that he lives in, controlled by his sisters. They throw out such insults as gay boy, and they really kind of meanly mock him, I guess from their perspective, trying to bring him down to what they expect a man should look like or act like. Contrasted to this, of course, is Lena in the film. Lena seems to accept Barry's quirkiness and accept the weird way that he acts, the weird things he does, the fact that he buys pudding just to get extra frequent flyer miles. And this acceptance really affects Barry in a positive way. This acceptance shows him that he doesn't need to behave in the way that his sisters or the world expect him to behave. Of course, in Dog Lovers, we see the same thing unfold slowly a little bit as well. Of course, as we said, at the beginning, Miranda really doesn't accept Mr. Reed's quirkiness and his weird way of doing things, but as the film progresses, she does come around, and it's not clear whether it's interesting man body that she likes or whether it's something else. Halfway through the film, almost like a switch turns off in her brain that makes her more accepting of Mr. Reed, and yes, she's not going to let him touch her stuff because of her condition, but she will gladly go on a date with him.
You see, I have Zwangsstörung.
And possibly the most complex triangle of acceptance and rejection happens in Eagle vs. Shark. So, just to summarize everything, Lily accepts Jared and even likes him for who he is, and Lily herself is not accepted in her place of work for being weird and antisocial. However, Jared is also not accepted in his small town in New Zealand, where he needs to fight a bully, and he seems very much excluded. And this sort of back and forth between rejection and acceptance is quite a prevalent theme in this film, when some parties feel like they're rejected by one person but accepted by another. And the question becomes, do they want acceptance from one specific person, or do they want acceptance from everybody?
7 o'clock, Jared.
Okay, let's do this thing.
What's happening?
It's a 5-man competition. Come on.